All right, welcome back. We're going to move on to the next topic, and this one was brought to us by Carbon X. He wants to discuss the new Baldur's Gate 3 official launch trailer. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to give our reaction and talk a little bit about it. So here we go, guys.
I saved you. And I'm here to save you again. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god.
The Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
I'll enjoy watching you try. In mere moments, all that you have dreaded will come to pass. When the screaming stops and your mind is gone, the rest, perhaps, is silence.
All right, okay, Carbon, since this is your topic, I'm going to kind of let you start it off. Oh, you're kind of dark too, Carbon. I want to turn on a light or something.
Why do you think?
Is that better?
Carbon.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But yeah, basically this is D&D the game. You know, they took a lot of inspiration off of D&D when they made this game. And even like when you make choices, right? Your character has to roll, and you can like roll like a nat 20, or you can roll like a critical miss. You know, so it's like if you try to do certain,
Okay.
like you know how you roll a dice.
Carbon. I want you
What?
to explain this in a way.
You said start off with me. You didn't. What do you mean?
Wait. I want you to explain what you're talking about in a way to someone.
And D&D,
Let me finish the saying. To someone who doesn't play video games.
Let the man speak.
I'm gonna let him speak because I don't know what the hell you were talking about. You guys explain.
Some elf shit. All I know is some elf shit. Always some elf shit with him. No matter what. Oh, if there's a fucking elf in there,
sir, I'm sorry. Right now, this is the highest rated game on Metacritic, so keep complaining about some elf stuff, okay? I'm sorry, okay?
Oh,
No, it's not
man.
that, Carbon. We don't.
If it got some pointy ears, you know he'll be there.
Man.
Hold on, everybody, stop.
Man, just get
Everybody
to the point,
stop.
man.
Always.
Carbon, explain to us.
Okay, so basically,
Hold on, wait. Let me finish can I finish what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Explain it to us like we don't know what you're talking about because we don't know what you're talking about.
I'm about to explain like that. Then this game or this action
Hey,
RPG.
guys, he's trying to explain. Let him explain.
This game is an action RPG.
Oh, my God.
That is on PC right now, and your decisions in the game make a big difference.
It is not an action RPG, but go ahead.
Okay,
You heard him,
whatever.
man. He says you roll some dice and play some elves. You heard him.
Would you guys like to explain that?
We just
Yeah,
did.
you guys like that?
Guys, quit interrupting. Let him say his piece.
Somebody give me some dice.
Hey, let him say his piece, man. Come on, man. So we can move on.
Okay, I'll explain this the basic story. Then basically, your character gets a worm stuck in his head.
What basic story? I just gave you the full game.
Dimitri.
Dice? Oh, man.
All right, we're gonna let him explain. We're gonna let him explain the game, but he wants to keep talking.
Yeah, could you please let him finish?
We'll let him explain.
I don't know how.
Go ahead. You want to say something?
Hey, yo, what?
All right, go ahead, Carvin. Go ahead, Carvin.
All right.
Go ahead, Carvin.
It's not okay.
Carvin, go ahead.
With the basic story, your character wakes up kind of with the on a ship basically, or in a different dimension, and you basically get this worm implanted inside your head. And if you don't get this worm taken out, you're gonna become like this evil kind of creature, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily call him that, but I have to go into a long story what the creature is, But basically, you get to make your own class, make your own character, and you kind of get to make your own story as you go along. It's kind of similar to D&D. Whenever you want to make a choice or decision, you have to roll a dice, right? If you don't roll high enough, your character can't make the decision, and then it's out of your control. Anything can really happen at that point,
Okay. So what separates this from what John is saying is an action RPG?
Okay. Yes. What is your question? Yes.
Demetrius, you're muted. No one can hear you. You're muted. I'm gonna unmute you, but we're trying to hold a discussion here, and I want him to explain the difference between, because John said it's not an action RPG. He's saying it is an action RPG. I don't know anything about video games, so think about the viewer. Now, most viewers probably know something about video games.
Yeah.
But for people like me who don't know, explain like what's the difference here? Don't worry about Demetrius. No one can hear him.
Man, you want me to mute him? I'll mute this man real quick, bro. What the world is going on, bro?
I've already muted him.
You did not. Okay, there we go. So,
okay, can you hear him now?
He's muted. What were you trying to say?
What's the difference between the action RPG in this game?
Are you asking me? Or you asking?
Well, both of you can chime in because you both have two different ones.
Yeah, I guess this wouldn't be an action RPG. I was kind of mistaken. I mean, it's kind of a, what do you consider? It's like a click-through adventure game.
It's a CRPG.
Yeah.
What's the C stand for?
Computer.
Yeah.
CRPG is not to steal your shine, Carbon X.
Well, he said, but I asked him a question, so.
Right. But this is based off of D&D, but it's a CRPG. It's a computer role-playing game. An RPG is a role-playing game. An action RPG is like The Witcher 3. So it has role-playing elements in it where like you can upgrade your skill progression and stuff like that. But it's action RPG. It's not a turn-based. You see what I'm saying? There is no rolling the dice. I'm just running around, kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but not like Grand Theft Auto. Because Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, those games, those are sandbox. Those are sandbox types of games. But action RPG is like The Witcher 3.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or
got it.
like Starfield.
Got it. We're gonna move on to John. I got it. We're gonna move on to Uncle Dave for the sake of time. Uncle Dave,
you don't want to answer the question, man.
Uncle Dave, what did you think of the overall trailer?
Man, I remember playing both. Yeah, I don't even want to show my age. I remember playing the first one and liking it. So when you said Baldur's Gate, I was pretty excited about it. But man, competition is steep these days, man. Competition is steep, and if you're gonna make a game, especially this type of game, you got to bring it. I've got to see. A lot of times I see this trailer, and then
the trailer doesn't do it justice. I'm sorry, you got to watch my actual gameplay.
You got to really play it, man, because even though you might see good gameplay, it might be incredibly short. And
it's like a 72-hour game from what I've heard.
All right.
72-hour story game. So
that makes about 36 for me. But I'm joking.
I'll say this for a person that does not play games, this trailer looks extremely generic. The only thing
like I said, this trailer does not do it justice here.
Yeah, the only thing that interested me was the Lovecraftian type monster thing at the end.
Oh yeah, that's like the main villain.
Yeah, everything looked generic. I was like, why? It just doesn't look exciting at all. But I don't play games. So
it's if you know more about D&D over games, right? It's like basically taking the D&D lore and putting that in the game. So it's like D&D the game,
Yeah, I hear you. And
I disagree with Carbon X.
Let me say this one last point, John. And I also say that I see where you guys are coming from. Though maybe the gameplay is what makes it, something that's going to be a really big game. But just from pure aesthetics, it just looks really boring to me. But John, please go ahead.
I mean, I understand where Carbon X come from, and Uncle Dave. I like D&D, like playing the board game. I remember growing up playing it. Dad was like the master, grandmaster, or whatever. I remember it. So it's basically taking that
Your dad worshiped the devil back in the day?
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I remember being a kid, but we've even thought about reintroducing it with the adults, like having all y'all come over and let's just play around, just do something different, get us out of our comfort zone instead of like just watching movies or whatever like that. Just to do something different. But anyway, but it basically takes that and it makes it into a game. Another thing too about action RPGs is it's usually either first person or third person. This is a different take. This is isometric, so it's like a downward view of it, kind of like Diablo 4. Diablo 4 has an isometric view. You know what I'm saying? But it basically takes the lore and all the great things that people love about D&D, like the board games, and it puts it in a video game. Yeah. So I understand the hype about it. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I read up on it, I looked at it. It's not for me. Turn-based games are not for me. I'm sorry, they're just not. Maybe when I was a kid, Final Fantasy and those, even Final Fantasy kind of changed their gameplay a little bit, or they made it a little bit more action path. There's still kind of like some turn-based things, but it's a little bit more fast-paced. This is like classic old school turn-based D&D type of gameplay, which isn't for me, but I can tell, like, just from looking at the gameplay and looking at how people play the game, if you're really into that type of gameplay, this is the game for you. That's the reason why it's doing so well, is because it really captured the allure of D&D and they put it in gaming form.
And they got some major Lovecraftian references here. That's actually piquing my interest a lot, actually. Look at this demon-looking lady.
This game's multiplayer too.
Seeing the gameplay, I'm like, okay, this actually looks kind of cool.
No, this game's multiplayer too. You can play the whole game with other people. So, and they can actually influence the story too. So everybody can actually influence the story, and it will affect you too.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
So it's like even just one person kills a person in a village, like the whole village will start attacking you too, because you're part of the same party. So it's like, yeah.
All right, let's move on to Big O. Let's get his thoughts on it. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested into it. I mean, I've never played, Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that and all, but but like the turn based, I tried getting into it like with Final Fantasy, I just love the whole art and stuff. That's really how I play for. I never actually finished it. The only turn based game I believe that I've ever finished was this Metal Gear game. I think it was called Metal Gear Acid, I think, or something. And I was so disappointed when I got the game because it was a turn-based game. It wasn't like you could move, but it was Metal Gear, and I was just big Metal Gear fan, and I actually beat the whole game on turn-based, and but it had all the Metal Gear elements in it, and that worked. So that's what kept me going. At first it was rough, but then I was like, okay, once I got the gist, okay, yeah, but this game right here, it definitely interests me. I like the design, the graphics and the story, the character designs and stuff like that. I mean, I'm interested. I mean, I don't know if I ever finish it, but I think once I play it, get into it, I'm pretty sure it'll have me hooked because it does have certain elements and stuff that I'm into it also. Yeah,
you guys want to play it together?
I'm about to play it. Yeah. This is a $60 game. I mean, one of us can buy it, and other people can play with them.
You know what?
The game's split screen. It's a split screen game, so if one person buys it, we can all play with them.
Yeah, and I actually think a game like that is much better playing with a group of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do think it would be because there's no way I could play this game alone because I love single player games. Because I like the story. It's almost like watching a movie, but you're playing it. But I can see myself playing this with the group of people, though.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Man, just look at the character designs, man.
Yeah, that's good. Tight, man. Let's move on to Muntundo 83. I'm going to unmute you, Muntundo, here.
Well, he's unmuted. I already unmuted too.
So that you can say your piece. What do you think of the overall game?
I don't got enough dice for it.
What? If we got the game, you wouldn't play with us?
No, I don't like elves.
He's about to kill the party, bro. I don't trust him, bro.
Does it have
I'm sorry, you guys take your time with these games.
Hey, one at a time, guys. One at a time. Who wants to go next?
I've said my piece.
Okay.
I'll let him finish.
Go ahead.
I got nothing else.
Something.
Okay, go ahead, Uncle Dave.
I think one thing that will make or break this game is when you really look at if it's going to be turn-based. How in depth can you go in your decision making? Like, when
you can go very in depth.
Oh yeah, like I'll let Carbon X explain this.
Wait. Let Uncle Dave finish his piece.
What they got the general idea, how in depth each turn am I going to be able to do? Can I take the sorcerer? You're gonna heal this round, and you're gonna do that, and is part of the game. Like some turn-based games are like Civilization, where I'm working on my castle and all of that during the same turn, trying to make better warriors or level up and things like that. Sometimes when it's turn-based and it has that in it, it's a little more complex and it becomes a little more fun. But if it's just turn-based fight scene, it might be better. Just wait. What's the difference to that and Final Fantasy?
This game, you can move around everything, right? And like the AI is smart too, right? So say if you heal too much, all the enemies will start targeting your healer, and it's like, say if you put your defense person right next to another enemy, they'll run right past your healer or right past your defense person to go attack your healer. So it's like your positioning and stuff like that matters, and the AI will kind of see what you're doing and be like, okay, we'll counter that.
Okay.
And you can even jump like different parts of, like, you have like this jump moves, so you can jump to, if you want to go up high on mountains, all that kind of stuff. You got different abilities that can do different stuff for you.
Does terrain give you an advantage, like when you attack from a hill or anything like that?
It depends on what skills you have. If you're like an archer, yeah. If you're not an archer, it's not gonna help you. But there's certain classes or whatever. So depending what class you pick, your terrain might make a difference, right? And sometimes something you might do might affect you. Like, say if you try to throw like a poison thing or something, right? That poison is still gonna affect your teammates too. So like there is friendly fire in this. So it's like if you miss or something, you still could hit your teammate, and now you done killed your teammate because you missed.
Very interesting.
Johnny Mods.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Well, I got a question. Like,
wait.
How would you miss?
Go ahead, Big O.
Like, it's like, how would you miss? Like any turn-based game, I haven't played many of them, but it's like I thought you just lock onto that character you're trying to attack.
No, it's not. It's not like Final Fantasy. This game, it's like D&D, where your character rolls a dice and you can miss, and you can critical miss.
Oh,
critical misses.
I got you. Okay. So if it comes up in the dice, then that's okay. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the hand of fate right there. So
yeah, you're not always your character, especially at the beginning. Your character's not going to be the hero you want them to be. Your character's going to fail a lot, and when you fail, even with dialogue, your character might fail, and then you might make a whole village mad at you or a whole town.
Yeah, that's interesting because the dice aspect kind of gives like you said, a little bit more chance.
You're not guaranteed to win.
Whereas the other one, you just keep leveling up, and you get this sword that's super strong, and you just kill whatever. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yep.
But we're gonna.
You might just crap out.
We're gonna move on to the next subject, unless someone has anything else to say about Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Thank you, Carbon.